The train whistle blew, and I looked up from my book. It was time to go. I gathered my things and walked to the platform, where the train was already waiting. I boarded the train and found a seat by the window. I settled in and watched as the train pulled out of the station. The cityscape quickly gave way to fields and forests, and I soon found myself lost in thought. I was on my way to visit my grandparents, who lived in a small town in the mountains. I hadn't seen them in years, and I was excited to catch up. I also couldn't wait to explore the mountains and go hiking. The train ride was long, but I didn't mind. I spent the time reading, listening to music, and watching the scenery go by. I also met some interesting people along the way. One of the people I met was a young woman named Sarah. She was also on her way to visit her grandparents, and we quickly hit it off. We talked for hours about our lives, our hopes, and our dreams. By the time the train reached my stop, I felt like I had made a new friend. I said goodbye to Sarah and promised to stay in touch. I stepped off the train and took a deep breath of fresh air. I was in the mountains, and I was finally here. I couldn't wait to start my adventure. I walked down the platform and hailed a taxi. The driver took me to my grandparents' house, which was a small, cozy cabin in the woods. My grandparents were so happy to see me. They hugged me tightly and told me how much they had missed me. We spent the next few days catching up and going on adventures in the mountains. We hiked, we swam, we went fishing, and we even went camping. We had so much fun. And I felt so close to my grandparents. It was the perfect trip, and I'll never forget it. It was the perfect way to reconnect with my grandparents and to experience the beauty of the mountains. As I boarded the train to go home, I felt sad to be leaving. But I knew that I would be back soon. I had made some amazing memories, and I couldn't wait to make more. I waved goodbye to my grandparents and watched as the train pulled away from the station. I settled into my seat and looked out the window. The mountains were still in view. And I smiled. I knew that I would never forget my trip. Once upon a time, there was a group of friends who decided to take a trip on a train. They had heard that the journey was beautiful, with stunning views of the countryside and charming towns along the way. As they boarded the train, they found their seats and settled in for the journey. They were excited to see what adventures lay ahead. As the train pulled out of the station, they gazed out of the window at the passing scenery. They saw rolling hills, lush forests, and fields of colorful flowers. They also passed through small towns, where they caught glimpses of quaint shops and bustling markets. The train ride was smooth and comfortable, and the friends enjoyed chatting and laughing as they watched the world go by. They also took advantage of the dining car, where they savored delicious meals and drinks. But as the journey continued, they encountered some unexpected challenges. At one point, the train had to stop on the tracks due to a fallen tree blocking the way. The friends became restless as they waited for the train to get moving again. But soon enough, the tree was cleared and the train resumed its journey. The friends were relieved and grateful to be back on track. As the hours passed, the scenery changed once again. They saw mountains rising in the distance, and the train began to climb higher and higher. They marveled at the breathtaking views of the valleys below, and felt a sense of awe at the beauty of the world. Finally, the train arrived at its destination, a bustling city full of sights and sounds. The friends disembarked, tired but happy from their journey. They hugged each other and promised to remember the trip forever. And as they looked back on their adventure on the train, they knew that the journey had been just as important as the destination. They had experienced the thrill of travel, the joy of discovery, and the warmth of friendship. And they knew that they would always cherish those memories of their trip on the train.